the heart and soul behind every business. Stories. Welcome to Business Story of the Week, hosted by me, Joshua Laurie. From setbacks to comebacks, from tragedies to triumphs, we inspire entrepreneurs through conversations that matter. Witness the magic that turns dreams into reality. Whether it's your career, business, or life, your success is always one story away. This is Business Story of the Week.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam Mitchell, and here to introduce you the business story of the week, everybody.
Fantastic. And that is the man himself, Sam Mitchell. He's our guest for today. And, my name is Joshua. I'm your host. In every show and every week, we ask you a question. Today's question is, how do you define normal in a world where everyone is uniquely different? Well, I believe Sam is the perfect guest to answer that question for us today. Sam Mitchell is the founder and host of the podcast Autism Rocks and Rolls, where he shares his experiences as a high functioning individual on the autism spectrum. Through his podcast and nonprofit, Sam's mission is to show that people with autism are not broken and should be celebrated for their unique successes. With 18,000 downloads, more than 18,000 downloads, Sam has made it to the top 10 of the People's Choice Podcast Awards while also being a current Davy Award winner. A motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and TEDx presenter, Sam has interviewed notable guests like Dr. Temple Grandin herself and WWE legend Mick Foley. I'm quite excited to have this on the show today. Sam, how are you doing? Thank you for coming on.
Hey, buddy, good to be here.
Fantastic, Sam. You've had quite some success with your podcast, but also your organization and what you do with your nonprofit, Autism Rocks and Rolls. Of course, before we truly get into it, Sam, what was it like? I want to know the origin story of Sam Mitchell. What was the young Sam Mitchell you like? And what would the young Sam Mitchell say to the Sam Mitchell of today?
Well, young Sam Mitchell was a former shadow of himself. He got bullied and excluded and dealt with so much bogus in his life that after a while I had to throw him away. Because unfortunately, if he was still here, he wouldn't be able to make it. After 15 years, I finally had a change in my life and decided to be myself and pretty much say, if you don't like me, you can stick it at a certain place. I think you probably guessed where. But at 16 years old, I really changed a lot of my ways in life, and it worked. I made some friends. I started the podcast after I joined high school's media club. I fell in love with it so much. I didn't wait till college to expand my skills, and that was when Autism Rocks and Rolls was born.
Fascinating. That you clearly went through a lot for that as well, but you persevered with your own goals, with your own ambitions. Was podcasting always in your, goals? Was it part of your ambitions, or did it just happen during your media club?
Not so media club, but looking back through my childhood, I remember we did this thing once upon a time called the Eastern Green Middle School News. I was always looking forward to it.
Right.
So I think that was foreshadowing what I was going to do in the future.
All right. Right. Wow. Wow. So it has always been there in the backdrop, so to speak, and now you started expanding once you got to college. You started your nonprofit, Autism Rocks and Rolls. Talk to us a little bit about that, and what was your goal moving towards it? Has it always been as well your goal early on in life as well?
So our nonprofit began in the COVID years in 2020, but through the podcast, it's grown from a nonprofit with the board of 8. I also play events at NES is where I'm from, and I'm speaking engagements is something else I do. I spoke in Oklahoma, Orlando
Wow.
3 times, Canada twice, Stuart, Florida, Washington, D.C.
Wow, that is very, very cool. I mean, Sam, you've clearly done a lot to put the voice, provide a platform for the voice of autism. Sam, my question now is, throughout this journey of yours, I understand that one of the things that you were able to present on TEDx, your TEDx Youth at Bloomington. You talked about soul structure. Talk to us a little bit about that talk of yours, understanding autism and I know that you talked about the importance of structure when it comes to autism, but I feel it also applies to people with no autism.
You are correct.
Mm.
And is that why those on the spectrum need structure in their life? But I feel like in life, everybody needs structure. I mean, it
Everybody.
has to be in the world of a lot of people, especially if you're a business owner. I think you can relate to that.
Absolutely. Talk to us a bit about that experience, Sam. I mean, of course, you have your nonprofit, you also have your podcast as well. You talk about structure as a business owner for you, for yourself. How were you able to balance both using structure, of course, your own personal challenges, while also having those business challenges? How did structure help throughout all that?
Well, you lots of scheduling, lots and lots of scheduling.
What was it? Was there any particular challenge of sticking to those schedules?
Not really. As long as I write it down, I'm committed to it. I usually do it. The only problem is it sometimes gets fully loaded.
Right, that's the thing. So it's fully loaded, too much to do, too little time. It's very interesting how you said that. Once you wrote it down, you're committed to it, you're doing it. How do you feel? Did you ever get those days where you just didn't feel like doing it? And how did you overcome that?
I just reschedule. But my rule is I don't reschedule twice or I get anxiety.
Of course, no, I get that. I totally understand that too, especially with shows. It's so embarrassing, right? With interviews and all, you've rescheduled once, you've rescheduled twice already, and you feel like, oh man, I don't know if I can reschedule another time with this guest. It's too, it doesn't look professional. But sometimes some of the things are out of our control. And talking about things that are out of our control, Sam, you've of course lived a life full of challenges, and this is something that you are now teaching others. Talk to us. One of the biggest things that stood out for you as a someone who is teaching this to others today, what would be the biggest thing that people with no knowledge of autism, what was the biggest knowledge gap that people don't know as much? And now that you're teaching this to them, how do you teach that part?
Well, it's so frustrating that this business gap of autism is, and why you what I do is this whole population, when you use the word autism, people think. They think what I call a mindset of 3-year-olds, which means they can't go to the bathroom. They can't brush their teeth. And I'm not going to lie, there is a population like that, but we believe they can still do something. That being said, though, you forget there's a population like who's in the middle of the road, who might live with his parents, but can work at Walmart.
Mhm.
Or there's me, who has a mindset of maybe a 19-year-old, but could go to college, which is where I'm at today, and maybe you'll get a job, who actually can brush his teeth. I don't think my teeth are too badly yellow. And who also can actually interact with the world, who can actually order food for himself if he chooses to go to Subway.
Right. And of course, put up his own business and his own nonprofit as well and perform very good at that. Sam, it's a lot of it's a lot of common misconceptions today. Do you feel like it has gotten better for the general population to, learning more about autism, treating others differently, treating, just having a better overall experience with people who, do you feel like it's gotten better?
That's a good question. And in my view, we're aware of it, but we're still not accepting of it. I mean, people still like me probably because of sympathy. Really? Once as much as I appreciate your sympathy, I don't need it. I'm doing great in my life right
Wow.
now. Like me because of what else I could do. Like me because of the fact that I like Buffalo Wings. Like me because of the fact that I like rock and roll music. Don't
Right.
like me because I have this medical condition.
Of course, like you for who you are, not what you have, because people have something. People are like, I like how you. I learned this long ago. They say don't say it like people are autistic. Say it like they have autism. I think that vocabulary alone creates that separation because it's something that you have. It's not who you are. It's something with other illnesses as well. Like right, like they're not bipolar, they have bipolar disorder. I think that's important vocabulary to have. Sam, you've dealt with this your entire life and you probably deal with it. You're still dealing with it today. I like how you said that we're more aware, but we're less accepting. What do you think we need to get done every day so people could be a lot more accepting of it? And how does your nonprofit, Autism Rock and Roll, how do you guys move forward and contribute to that more?
Well, I think people need to understand our struggles. We need to see what we go through.
Right, right. How do you guys do that? How you get people to understand a bit more of what your struggles are?
Well, I share my stories through my podcast is one way. And
Mhm.
then clearly I put out resources, lots of resources on my Facebook page. I share a lot of social media apps. If I see something that's a good story.
Right, right. Very, very cool. Just putting the word out there, making hopefully people see it. Hopefully, if we get more eyes on it, and people get to understand a bit more. Of course, your podcast, once again, for our audience and listeners out there, 18,000 downloads. The name is Autism Rocks and Rolls. Talk to me about the inspiration behind that. You said you love rock and roll music, and that's the name that you chose for your show. Talk to us about the inspiration. What type of music you listen to?
Well, there you go. That's where I got the title, was due to the rock and roll hobby. But yes, I am a fan of rock and roll. I listen to a lot of Nickelback, AC/DC, Elvis, Papa Roach, Motley Crue, Metallica. See, I'm trying to have who else is a lot.
There's a
Alice
lot.
Cooper,
Alice Cooper.
Rob Zombie, who I'll be seeing in concert next week, VIP style. I got that as a present when I worked at my internship station at WQR.
Mhm. Very, very cool. And now this is the name of your podcast. And you're spreading the word. You're spreading the knowledge out there. I also love that you have Temple Grandin's testimonial up on your website. It says there, you guys are making it look cool. Autism making it look cool, making it look positive. Do you feel like you have progressed a lot on that side when it comes to your nonprofit? And how long do you see doing it?
As long as I can, buddy. But yes, we try to show the positive side, but we're also real. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of the sketches was going to have a meltdown. Probably. But here's what you can do. People forget about the here's what you can do statement.
Precisely, precisely. Here's what you can do. So, Sam, talk to us about that. I feel like this is a really, really great way to start educating others, right? So, yeah, people, there's going to be a meltdown here, it's one or two, but here's what you can do. And what would that be, Sam?
Well, so the problem is when you go online, it's all like negative, and we get why a parent would think, well, my life's over because they don't give us resources enough. They might tell you, you have a meltdown, but they're not like, but here's what you can do.
Wow. What can I do, for example, as far as spreading awareness? As far as, for example, what if someone had a breakdown in front of me, a meltdown in front of me? How can I best deal with that, and how can I help others also learn more how to deal with that better?
Well, for starters, you can learn the difference
Mm,
because it's often very confused with a child throwing a tantrum because he didn't get a teddy bear, which we do too. I'm not gonna lie to you there. I've done that a couple times before. I was a young boy, but the difference is a tantrum is because of a teddy bear. Meltdown is because a Walmart buzz is going off unexpectedly.
wow, wow, and that's just a lot of factors that is affecting that as well. And how do you personally deal with those emotions, Sam, when they do come up?
Well, I don't have any meltdowns anymore, but I know people that have them, and what I did back in the day was I had no idea what they all came handle them well. I think my mother one time, the buses went off and she had a cart full of groceries. She had to leave the cart and literally take me to the car.
Whoa, wow. How do you feel today with the friends that you've had and with your nonprofit? Is this something that you teach others on how to also personally deal with their meltdowns? Of course, this is something that is out of your control most of the time.
Well, I tried to. I had a whole episode on it.
Wow, very cool. So, of course, what's the title of the episode so our audience listeners know? We check it out.
107 Meltdowns Autistic Style.
That is pretty cool. It's almost like really music related too. I love that. So for our audience and listeners out there, of course, the website is Autism autismrocksandrolls.com. You can also go check out Sam's TEDx talk. Very, very enlightening there. Like I said, I think we could all benefit from structure. All of us, young and old, businessman or regular person, or really just a unique individual like Sam and his friends, and we're all just trying to put together the word and be accepting of each other. The TEDx talk title for Sam's TEDx is Understanding Autism, Controlling Chaos with Structure. Sam, as we near our talk, you know, we're talking about the metaphor of breaking the mold. This literally is your life. You've had to constantly break the mold when it comes to your autism advocacy and, of course, your own entrepreneurial journey. How would you say, how similar are they when it comes to breaking the mold, and how have you constantly practiced that?
Well, I do it in my personal life too. I mean, I'm doing my personal life
Exactly.
every day.
Every single day. That's quite the. I mean, that's the life that you live right there. Exactly is what I meant to say, Sam. Of course, once again, the website is autismrocksandrolls.com. Sam, where else can we find you? Where else can we connect with you? We'd love to learn more.
You can find me on your favorite media platforms. I'm not a hard guy to find. If you Google me, your search engine optimization, something will pop up. Just search Autism Rocks and Rolls. Not my name, because there's a basketball player with my name.
Yes, absolutely. But you are the one and only guy with this autism rocks and rolls, rocking and rolling, with all that knowledge and all that information out there, so we can learn a bit more. Sam, thank you so much for for taking your time onto this show. It's been very enlightening. I'm very glad about that we get to have this platform to talk about autism rock and roll.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I had a blast.
Fantastic, Sam. Thank you so much for being on the show. To all our audience and listeners out there, thank you for watching the episode. I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
All right, so here's the thing, we try to get a little bit better every day, but we can't do it without you. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have any comments, just leave them in the space under.